5 to 6 minutes, we should be there. Okay, so, has everyone got a smoke alarm? Yeah. I can't hear you, has everyone got a smoke alarm? Yeah. Excellent. I didn't mean to press that, sorry. Right, the fire brigade provides smoke alarms for free. What we do is we do a home fire safety risk assessment. If you go over to the side later on, what you will see is leaflets. If you put your details in there and send it off, that will go to our control centre and then contact you. Everything is privacy driven, so your information won't be handed to everybody else. It stays within the fire service and as I said, you're safe on that side. We won't sell it on it. Right. With the smoke alarm, it's got a 10-year battery in it, which means you don't need to replace it. All we advise you to do is test it once a week, and every couple of weeks give it a filter. That prevents it from having any dust mites or builds up and possibly affecting the service of the alarm. And what we'll also do is go around your house and talk to you about certain things like doors. People generally keep their doors open at night. Kitchen doors, living room doors, bedroom doors. Now I'm aware sometimes you'll do that if you've got pets or it's just out of habit. Really, as a priority, you'll need to shut your kitchen door and your living room doors. If you think about it, those doors compartmentalise a building. They will contain if there was a fire in there. Now kitchens generally will have your electric, your water supply and your gas. Most house fires are in the kitchen. Most incidences with people within house fires is smoke inhalation, not necessarily fire itself. If a fire starts and you're in bed, then the stairwell acts like a chimney. That's if you're in a house and not a bungalow. And what will happen is that smoke will drive up there, you'll feed it oxygen because you've left all the doors open, you'll be in bed, and that smoke will fill into your house, into your bedroom. Now you lose your sense of smell when you're asleep, and most instances are carbon monoxide driven, not actually burned. That's the importance of at least closing the kitchen and living room doors. Right, let's see when this smoke alarm starts.
That's too good though. Yeah, that's too good.
Right, all we're going to do now is to show you the sensitivity of the smoke alarm. There we go, look at that. Right, it goes off. So, that's the purpose of the alarms that we've got. A small amount of burning like that. What that'll do is these alarms are sensitive to that type of smoke. So, generally if you burn your toast, a lot of the issues that we have is that if you burn your toast, these smoke alarms going off, or they're close to your kitchen, you take the batteries out, you sort of waft them with pillows. The smoke alarms that we've got, that we provide, are actually less sensitive to that type of smoke. And also if they do go off, what you can do is press the button on there, which is the main button that's in the middle, and it will reset the alarm. So it will turn it off for 10 minutes, it will allow you to sort your cooking out, but it will allow you to sort your cooking out, it will allow you to get everything sorted, and then carry on doing what you're doing. Right, we're nearly there. Okay, right, now, kids. Boys and girls, boys and girls. I can't see that fire behind me. So as soon as it lights and you see a little bit of flame, what you need to say is it's behind me. Right, what you need to say? Sorry, I can't hear you. What did you say? No, it's not. You're lying. Right, okay, so that's nearly ready. Do you start to smell the smoke? That's really, isn't it? We can see that actually is not alight yet, and look at the amount of smoke that's starting to build up. I can see it's affecting everyone now, it's sort of coming over to that side. Now you imagine if the doors that we are in the house, that's confined to them. Is it alright? Not yet, it's just the smoke. But can you see how it's travelling, and you can actually start to breathe it now? Right, so, this is the spot of the water. I'll go out now. As you see now, demonstration, a small cup of water, and that effect. What's you got there again? Okay, so that's the effect of a cup of water onto 1 litre of oil. Now generally people apply quite a lot more oil in their pan, and we're also applying a lot more water. So we've actually one thing I will say, did you see when that pan was alive, that flame stayed in the pan? Right? It's not going to get any higher, it's not going to go further, it's going to stay in that pan. So that's why we advise just to turn the power off. You turn the power off, you don't panic, you stay calm, you go out the kitchen, it will stay in that pan. And when we arrive, it will either still be alight, which means we've got a fire good, so we'll just pick it up, carry it, take it out to the garden, or it will be out. They're generally the two things that generally will happen. Unless you've got a lot of newspapers next to it. Anyway, so the stuff for you, 3 pens, 3 pencils, alarm clocks. Well done. The children want to see it again in around about 45 minutes. So thank you,
RMP. So, these Victorians start coming here, and with a horse and chase, they'll go to Pinner and get the steam train into London. Then the next big swell comes in 1906, when Eastcote gets a halt. They decide that they're going to build a new branch of the Metropolitan line from Harrow on the Hill. The first one was the one that went Pinner and Norfolk way, the one that comes up to Uxbridge. Eastcote gets itself just a platform, not a station, no building. Right in the middle of ploughed fields, there was a little stone halt where people could get on or off the train. And that was to transform Eastcote beyond all recognition. In that year, 1906, the population of Eastcote was 621 people. 621 people who had lived pretty much the same farming existence here for centuries. Within 30 years, by 1936, there were 12,500 people in Eastcote. We had gone through an immense change, far more than you might think you've seen in your lifetime. And that's all with the coming of Eastcote Hall. By 1914, before the outbreak of the First World War, the 2 most popular stations on the Metropolitan line were right up in Eastcote, famous for our tea gardens. And you'll find them down at Black Horse Parade there. That was a great big tea garden, and the Case had one. There was one just opposite the station. There was beer as well, it wasn't all tea. It won't really explain its success. But we were very famous for tea gardens until the First World War rather changed things. Tanya Britton is here today, a local historian who's written a book about the First World War and its effect specifically on Eastcote right up to Norfolk, losing about a third of our men of fighting age in this area, which is pretty huge. And she's written a book with biographies of every single one of them. It's quite a respectful thing to do. And you can buy it today and also support this event as well as her down at the author's desk by the stables there. So, with the end of the First World War, we then see the beginning of massive development, whereas over here, the Hawtreys sell off what we now call Eastcote House Park Estate to Comden, and it's escaped me a minute, not important, but the developers that bought over there. There had been a bit earlier than that developments around where I am. Lime Grove is 1909. Elm Avenue, Myrtle, Acacia, all those are really rather much earlier, before we got proper developers. So if you were to wander down Lime Grove, or those roads, you would notice that every 2 houses changed. Because there was no Wimpeers, no Taylor Woodrow, they were a little bit later. This was individual builders and their sons, small family businesses, sold a plot, and you either built 2 small ones or 1 big one, and the other guy did what he wanted. So you see that constant change until the 30s, and leading up to the Second World War, where the C.J. Voysey style of architecture, those Victorian villas we're so familiar with the bay windows around the front, get built by huge developers here. There's that magnificent change. So we're now going to go from the ornamental gardens, where incidentally they would have played tennis as well, just ahead here, where there was supposed to be a Tai Chi demonstration. It doesn't seem to be happening. You've got two sort of raised mounds going in a line, and then a flat area just there, and that was the Hawtreys tennis court where they used to play here. This house survived until 1964. After the Second World War, it came into the hands of the Ruislip Urban District Council, and it was used as a community building for scouts and girl guides and the Women's Institute and a welfare centre until it was so unfit, they just let it go to rack and ruin, that in 1964 it was all knocked down. So it's underneath there, a lot of it, because it had a big cellar, huge cellar, and when they were knocking down, demolishing the house, they filled the cellar in with bits they knocked off the house. So we should get Robson and that Time Team people on the telly to come down here. They wouldn't need their geo-fizz. They wouldn't need to go around trying to work out what everything is. We just say, just dig there and you'll find gold. And all sorts of parts of the house are just under there now. 1967, the same fate happens for the same reason, that the council don't have any money to look after it, or just didn't see the value, I think, in those days, of this building as being of any great interest to anyone. So Hayden Hall gets knocked down in 1967. Highgrove is still with us, the only one of the three grand houses. Now, 1879 it had a fire, in the 1970s there was an attic fire. It was sold by the council. It had been a place for homeless families to be looked after, but the government changed the policy on keeping them as sort of residential groups, but giving them individual houses, so that was closed down. Sold for 1.2 million. Sounds like a lot around here for a house that big. 1.2 million, and it's now 12 luxury flats. But they have restored the outside rather nicely, and at least it does look like the building it once was of Hayden Hall. That's what it survives. But we're going to go around this side, and we're going to see the working side of the building, where they used to grow their fruit and their vegetables and their herbs for the kitchen in the wall garden just round on this side.